Yo, what's good people? Back again with another video. Thanks for tuning in. Today we take it to Australia for another story. Let's get into it. So Stephanie Scott was a 26-year-old woman who taught English and drama at the local high school in Leeton, New South Wales in Australia. With a population of around 10,000 people, it was a small, tight-knit community where the worst crimes to happen previously was the vandalism of property. So there was not much crime in this area at all, man. Very safe area. Stephanie was getting ready to marry her high school sweetheart, Aaron Leeson Woolley, on the 11th of April 2015, and the excitement was starting to set in. They met as teenagers while working at a local supermarket in Canowindra, New South Wales, about 3.5 hours drive from Leeton. On Saturday the 4th of April 2015, Aaron and Stephanie were invited to a party in their hometown of Canowindra. Stephanie had insisted Aaron attend alone, as she had a few more things that she wanted to prepare in the lead up to their wedding, because obviously she was very excited about that. You know, getting married is a big thing. The couple stayed in touch all night through text messages before chatting on the phone to say goodnight at around 10:30 p.m. on Saturday. On Sunday the 5th of April 2015, which fell on an Easter Sunday, Stephanie texted Aaron to let him know that she was heading into work for a few hours. She wanted to make sure that all of her lessons were prepared for the substitute teacher that would be taking over her classes while she was away on honeymoon with Aaron. Stephanie didn't want her students to miss out on any of the learning or fall behind while she was gone. While Aaron made the drive back to Leeton from Canowindra, he tried to get in touch with Stephanie, but his calls were unanswered. Assuming she was just busy with her work, Aaron continued home, but was very surprised to find out that Stephanie was not there when he arrived. So obviously he started to panic a bit, like, where's my girlfriend? Another call was placed to his fiancée, but her phone remained unanswered. Aaron's suspicions began to grow, so we tried to call some of Stephanie's friends to see if they had seen or heard from her, but to no avail. As the day got longer and longer and grew into night, Aaron hoped to see Stephanie's red Mazda pull into the driveway like it normally did. But when morning rolled around and Stephanie was still nowhere to be seen, he got in touch with her family and a missing persons report was filed. At this point, Aaron started to get really worried. This was out of character for his fiancée, and he was starting to panic. So the police originally thought that maybe she got cold feet because her wedding was just around the corner, and you do hear stories of that from time to time. Sometimes it happens. So they established her last known location as her place of work, which was Leeton High School. Locals were asked to keep an eye out for Stephanie's red Mazda sedan, and inquiries of whether anyone else had been at the school were made. The deputy principal recalled seeing the school cleaner, who was known as Vincent Stanford, there on Friday the 3rd of April 2015. Other witnesses claimed to have seen an older white ute, which is like a sort of pickup truck, that was at the school on Sunday the 5th of April 2015. The police used these statements to decide to question the 25-year-old Stanford at his home, where he lived with his mother. However, when police arrived, Stanford was not home, but his mother allowed the police to search the premises. They came upon a set of keys for the school in Stanford's bedroom that matched those of Stephanie's, as well as a pair of bloodied handcuffs. So suspicions really start to creep in now with this guy. And I just want to add that there was a lot of rumors going around that this guy was a creep. He was a creep, he was a weirdo, man. You had to keep an eye on him. But we're gonna keep the story moving. Upon arriving back home, Vincent Stanford told the police that he had been out taking some pictures. Police requested to see the camera and came across 2 images of a body burnt beyond recognition. I mean, come on. Stanford claimed he had downloaded these images from a horror movie. That's unbelievable, man. I just don't understand how this guy was employed by a school when there was numerous rumors going around that this guy was a weirdo pervert. They had to look more into him. Way before this day came, there was rumors about this guy. The police eventually found out that this guy was guilty. Vincent Stanford spotted Stephanie at the school on the 5th of April 2015. He watched her for a moment before going home and retrieving a kit, which consisted of handcuffs and a 40cm knife. What a pervert, man. He returned to Leeton High School. Stephanie had finished up her work for the day and passed Vincent Stanford and wished him a happy Easter. As she passed him, he grabbed her by the waist, covered her mouth before dragging her into a nearby storeroom. Vincent Stanford beat her head with his fists 30 to 40 times until she was unconscious. He proceeded to rape her before stabbing her in the neck with the knife from his pre-prepared kit, deliberately hitting her carotid artery to make sure she was dead. I mean, what a sicko, man. What a sicko. After the murder, he returned home once again to make himself a cheese sandwich and a cup of coffee for lunch before going back to cover up his crime. There was so much blood that Stanford had to use a high-pressure hose to clean the storeroom. Stanford placed Stephanie's naked body in the boot of her red Mazda and drove it to his home where he parked it overnight. Early on the morning of the 6th of April 2015, Stanford drove Stephanie's car containing her body approximately 70 kilometers northeast of Leeton, and he took the body to Cockapara National Park, where he used to go camping with his mother. He placed branches over her body, poured 20 litres of petrol on her, set fire to her body, and took pictures of his heinous crime. These would be the images that were later found by the police. The guy's sick, man. He deserves the chair. Vincent texted his identical twin brother Marcus on the 8th of April 2015 saying, "I'm going to send you an envelope. Keep it safe for me." He proceeded to mail his brother Stephanie's engagement ring, a graduation ring that her mother gave her, and her driver's license. Marcus Stanford, living in South Australia, did not know what the envelope contained until he received it. He went on to pawn Stephanie's rings for 705 Australian dollars and burnt her driver's license. On that same day, Vincent Stanford was brought in for questioning by the police, and that was on the 8th of April. He denied any involvement in Stephanie's disappearance and provided an alibi that he had been grocery shopping on the 5th of April. It didn't take long for investigators to unravel his story after contacting the grocery store that he allegedly visited, and they found out that the store had been closed that day for Easter Sunday. The police conducted another search of Stanford's home, in which they came across a red bra, Stephanie's car keys, and a boot liner for her car. Vincent Stanford was arrested and charged with aggravated sexual assault, murder, and inflicting actual bodily harm. On the 9th of April, Stephanie's red Mazda was located in an abandoned field in Wamoon, which is about 11 kilometers outside of Leeton. After burning her body, Stanford had driven her car back before dumping it in the field. On the 10th of April, police found Stephanie's burned remains after utilising a triangulation of the phone towers in the rural area, based on a mobile phone, to help determine where the investigators should search. On the 11th of April, Stanford contacted police from the Junee Correctional Centre and confessed to Stephanie's kidnapper murder. When providing his full admission, he stated, "I agreed to the charges and confessed to the murder of Stephanie." I can't remember her surname. In his confession, he stated to police that he felt basically emotionless, just that I had to kill her. Man, this guy was an evil guy, and it's a waste of money if he's locked up. In my opinion, he should be given the chair, because he's a scumbag. Absolute scumbag, man. In July 2016, Vincent Stanford pleaded guilty to murder and aggravated sexual assault. The court heard the disturbing history of Vincent Stanford, including that he had thoughts of killing people from the age of 7 or 8. It was also revealed that he had been stalking multiple women in the town of Leeton, including a 12-year-old girl who he kept notes on and wanted to abduct. So this guy was showing signs from very, very early. He needed help from early, man. Like, he was on some weirdo shit from very young. Absolute pervert, man. His internet search history was also brought up, which highlighted Stanford regularly searched for violent rape, violent sex, murder. Vincent Stanford was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole for the murder of Stephanie Scott, with an extra 15 years for aggravated sexual assault. His identical twin brother, Marcus Stanford, was sentenced in August 2016 to 15 months as an accessory to the crime. So yeah, it's good that Vincent pervert got life, but how did his brother walk away with 15 months? He obviously knew. That's his twin brother. The day that Stanford confessed to his crimes was the day that Stephanie and Aaron were supposed to get married, which is very tragic. Instead of celebrating their wedding day, Stephanie's family and mourners gathered in a Leeton Park to pay tribute to what they described as someone who represented all that was good about humankind. Everyone wore Stephanie's favourite colour, which was yellow. Since then, her family have received a payout after suing the State of New South Wales and the New South Wales Department of Education for ongoing psychiatric distress. This is a very, very sad, tragic story. I just want to say, rest in peace to Stephanie Scott. My thoughts go out to Aaron, who was her fiance. They were childhood sweethearts at school. My thoughts go out to her mum, her father, her family. Tragic case. And I hope the killer rots in prison for the rest of his life. Or even better, maybe one of the other inmates can take him out of the game. Who knows, people? I'll be back soon. Thanks for watching. Peace.